Are you looking for the best pickleball paddles? In this video, we will look at some of the 5 best pickleball paddles on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Vanguard Control Invikta. Selkirk is a wildly popular paddle maker, but I was not a huge fan of the higher-end paddles in the lineup after testing dozens of models over a few seasons. The Selkirk Vanguard Control Invikta sold me on the brand. It's still the best all-around paddle for most people and the one I'd recommend to anyone who doesn't demand the ability to hit huge overhead smashes. The Invikta is not thermoformed and doesn't have quite the same power as paddles that are. Thermoformed paddles are molded with heat and injected with foam, while traditional paddles are made by stacking up layers like a sandwich. What the Invikta offers, however, is exceptional control and consistency. This paddle is shockingly well balanced and feels great in the hand, thanks to Selkirk's upgraded octagonal grip. Every time you swing the Invikta, the hit feels like you expect it to feel, and the ball goes exactly where you expect it to go. It's especially nice to have confidence in that consistency while developing more spin. I was a practitioner of the now-banned spin toss serve, and I'm still in rebuilding mode, because you don't have to worry about a goofy bounce from a dead spot caused by a botched thermoforming process. The Invikta does offer impressive spin, thanks to a T700 raw carbon face and a larger-than-average sweet spot. Number 2. Warrior BluCore Pickleball Paddle. I was not sure what to expect from Diadem's new BluCore paddle, which is among a handful of new paddles that have replaced the standard honeycomb polymer core with closed-cell foam. They sent me a sample of the stuff, and it looks like you could make a gas station cooler out of it. That foam is substantially more durable. It has a lifetime warranty, in fact, over the long haul, and is also not at risk of delaminating in extreme temperatures if, for example, you leave the paddle in the car on a scorching summer day while you grab patio margs. Given how far this paddle is outside the norm, and the fact that it's priced at the upper end of the range, I wanted to put real time in before recommending it. What I found was that the BluCore took some time to get used to, but it's now the paddle I play with the most. The foam core makes for a softer and more forgiving feel. It's like the suspension on an old Cadillac coupe. While I don't feel like I'm getting the most out of my serve, I especially love this paddle in defensive situations against better players. It plays consistently from edge to edge and has a nice, big sweet spot. Whether foam ends up dominating the pickleball market remains to be seen, but people who play nearly every day will also appreciate that this paddle uses an aramid carbon fiber face that is more durable than raw carbon and that the foam absorbs more vibration. Another foam core paddle. I was also pretty impressed with the Selkirk Labs 008, a new foam core paddle from the maker of our top pick for most people above. The 008 has a more traditional feel and a smaller but more poppy sweet spot. Because this paddle uses a T700 raw carbon fiber instead of more durable aramid carbon fiber, I fear the face will lose its effectiveness even when the core remains solid. Number 3. Pickleball Paddles, set of 2. If you've never played pickleball, this is a good place to start, so you can get a feel for the game without sinking too much dough. For less than $30, you get 2 paddles and a few balls. I bought this set of panel sound paddles when I wanted to try the game with my 10-year-old daughter, who has taken 5 years of tennis lessons but still serves from a few steps inside the baseline. I have since upgraded to other paddles, but I have no regrets about this purchase, and now loan them out to other beginners. These graphite paddles don't have a ton of pop and produce minimal spin, but they're sturdy and have a comfortable grip. While they don't offer a lot of power in each hit, they do perform consistently. They weigh in at 8 ounces and are USA Pickleball approved, USAPA, meaning you can use them in a tournament if you want. The other paddles on this list are all tournament approved as well, so sign up for any contest you want with confidence. A beginner upgrade. The SLK Evo Power XL 2.0 is the paddle I bought myself from a big box sporting goods store after a few times playing with the cheap set off Amazon. I bought this paddle based on its excellent feel and still love swinging it. Selkirk bills this paddle, which has a fiberglass face that provides limited spin, as an ideal pick for beginners and pickleball-curious tennis players. Number 4. Johns Perseus Pro IV. This is the 4th edition of the signature paddle made for pro pickleballer Ben Johns, the reigning #1 singles player in the world. I've tested the previous 2 Johns paddles along with a half dozen others from Mainland-based Jula, including a few now-banned paddles that were the subject of a brief calamity last year. The current Perseus paddle, which is fully approved for tournament play, has a ton of pop. This paddle is thermoformed, meaning it's heat-pressed together and virtually indestructible. It's a little heavy on the head and has less power than the previous generation, but with better control. The sweet spot is also a little larger but less sweet. Whack one right on the money though, and the ball jolts off it. Budget mashing. If you want to mash balls, but on a budget, go for the Phantom Eternal. A carbon fiber face for $60 is a great bargain, and the Phantom Eternal is overall a very solid paddle. I didn't find it all that precise compared to competitors that are more than double the price. There are dead spots at the top of my paddle, around the eyes. However, I loved the thick, slightly sticky grip and appreciated the unique graphics. Mostly though, I found myself swinging for the fences with this paddle. Something about it makes you feel like you can smoke a return right next to your opponent's foot. Number 5. Hush. Diadem's Hush is a thermoformed paddle that employs a foam-covered face to eliminate the controversial pop sound, which I love. Diadem says it's the quietest paddle in the world. I found the noise level more akin to tennis than pickleball. The best compliment I can give the Hush is that it handles mostly like any other paddle. This is a very welcome surprise given that its face feels like a pool noodle. The paddle only weighs 8 ounces but seems heavier. While the dense, spongy surface doesn't offer as much pop as a standard thermoformed paddle, it's got as much as the standard layer-build paddles on this list. I still haven't found any obvious dead spots, though it is understandably a little mushy. Diadem claims the foam is also helpful for spin, but in my testing I wasn't able to generate much. This paddle is not tournament approved, but if you're looking to play at odd hours or practice against a wall at your house, it could save you a lot of drama.